As an adult and treasure hunter, I am committed to search for all the talent, skills, and intelligence that exist in all children and youth. That all children are capable of success, no exception. Please be seated. At this time, I would like to welcome Westgate's band, Mr. Tanner Haley. Please take it over. Hallie, yeah, Hallie, I'm sorry. Hey, Hallie. Thank you. Yeah, I need that one. No, I need that one. I'm missing the one. Great job, Westgate. Mr. Halley, congratulations. And some high school is going to be very excited to get some of your band students. Very excited. There you go. If you're a parent of these students, would you please stand to be recognized? Westgate parents, please stand. All right, thank you, Westgate parents. Thank you for coming this afternoon. Principal Ingersoll and her staff, thank you so much. All right, this time we're just going to give them a minute to take off, and then we're going to open up our public hearing. We're going to go ahead and start. I just tell you, that's a great way to start off an afternoon meeting. It just makes you want to go out and dance. Anyways, we're going to go ahead and open up our first public hearing. I'm going to do it on 2.1. If you have any concerns about this, as soon as I reach the gavel, you're more than welcome to come forward and speak to the board here. And it's only on public hearing 2.1, and I'm opening it up right now. Anyone like to speak on 2.1? Seeing no movement in the audience, I'm going to go ahead and close 2.1. I'm going to open up public hearing 2.2. Vote. The vote's under the consent agenda. What's that? Yeah, I know. Point of order, Mr. Attorney. I thought the consent agenda. Oh, that's a ratification. I read it wrong. Let me check it here. 2.1 under item number 15, the consent agenda, is almost the same school board policy. Oh, okay. I'm going to go ahead and take a recommendation from the superintendent at 2.1.
I recommend the board adopt the proposed amendments to policy numbers 2431, interscholastic athletics, policy number 2431.01, participation by transfer students, policy number 2520, selection and adoption of instructional materials, policy number 2521, instructional materials program, policy number 2623, student assignment, policy numbers 3120.03, 4120.03, athletic coaches, policy numbers 3120.08, 4120.08, part-time extracurricular personnel, policy number 3242, professional learning, policy number 4242, staff development, policy number 5410.01, promotion, acceleration, placement, and retention, policy number 5463, credits from other schools, policy number 5465, general education development, GED tests, and policy number 5505, academic honesty.
Board members, you heard the recommendation of the superintendent. Can I get a motion?
I'll move. Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries 5-0. At this time, I'm going to go ahead and open up public hearing 2.2 for the audience. Public hearing's open. 2.2. Seeing no movement in the crowd, I'm going to go ahead and close 2.2. Mr. Superintendent, can I get your recommendation?
I recommend the board approve the initial charter school contract with the Florida Charter School Organization 2 Incorporated, DBA Hillcrest Academy Charter School.
Board members, you heard the recommendation of the superintendent. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
I got a motion and a second. Discussion? Seeing no discussion, those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries 5-0. Mr. Superintendent, your STAR presentation or special awards?
All right, at this time, I'd like to invite the best chief of communications in the entire state of Florida, Miss Lydia Martin.
Thank you.
Thank you for our star recognitions, and I'd invite the board to move to the front of the dais for a photo.
Chairman Ingersoll, board member, Superintendent Dr. Prince. We have two recipients this evening. The first could not be here, but we do have someone receiving the award on his behalf. So I'd like to recognize Deputy Charles Singletary, our school resource deputy from Dale Cassin's Education Complex, And accepting on his behalf is Captain Norman, who oversees the School Resource Deputy Program. This nominee came in from Jamie Alberti, the assistant principal there, and he writes, "It is with great enthusiasm that I recommend Deputy Charles Singletary for the Star Award. As the assistant principal at Dale Cassens, I've had the pleasure of working with him for several years and have been consistently impressed by his professionalism and his dedication to the success of our students. Throughout our time working together with alternative education students, SRD Singletary has created an environment where both staff and students feel safe. He fosters collaboration, strengthens relationships, and significantly boosts team morale. His willingness to go above and beyond to help our students and ensure their success has been nothing short of remarkable. His support is invaluable, and we could not do this important work without him. So congratulations to Deputy Charles Singletary." Thank you. Next, we'd like to recognize Catherine Robinson, a teacher from Morningside Elementary. I believe she is here. She may come forward. Congratulations. Ms. Robinson was nominated by a parent, and the parent submitted the following. Ms. Robinson exemplifies the very essence of the St. Lucie Public Schools mission and values through her extraordinary dedication, compassion, professionalism, and unwavering commitment to students and families. While I was undergoing medical treatment and managing serious health issues, Ms. Robinson identified a need that extended well beyond her classroom responsibilities. Without hesitation and without any expectation of recognition, she stepped forward to ensure that my son was cared for, supported, and entirely safe for approximately 2 weeks. Her only request to me during that simple time was simple and profoundly selfless: take care of yourself. That I focus on getting well, and she assured me she would be there to take care of my child. Because of this unbelievable and thoughtful act, my child was able to continue attending school without missing instructional time or educational continuity during a period when I was physically unable to be present for him. This stability and consistency would not have been possible without her willingness to go above and beyond her duties. She is truly an angel in the form of a teacher. So congratulations and thank you, Ms. Robinson. And that concludes our special orders of business for this evening.
As we move on and move forward to more good news, ESOL report, Dr. David Freeland. I set you up big time.
You did. That's a lot of pressure. Good evening, Chairman Ingersoll, board members, and Superintendent Prince. Last week, I gave an interview about educator vacancies and retention. In that conversation, I made one point unmistakably clear, and I want to restate it here tonight. The educator shortage in Florida is a state-created problem. It stems from decisions made at the state level, not by this board and not by this district. I drew that line intentionally. Accuracy matters, and so does credibility. State policy caused the crisis. Local culture determines how survivable it is. We did not create the statewide problem, but we do have influence over how it is felt here. And in a moment when the profession is under extraordinary pressure, local choices can either soften the impact or unintentionally make it heavier. This is exactly where our opportunity lies. Right now, teachers are being asked to carry more responsibility than ever. Instructional demands, documentation, interventions, communication, compliance. Expectations continue to grow, and almost nothing is removed to make space for what's added. I raise this not to point fingers, but because it highlights a tension we can address together. Balancing necessary structure with trust and professional expertise to better support our students and keep talented educators here. This is about systems and signals, not individuals. When professional judgment is replaced with rigid control, the message educators hear is not about support or instructional quality. The result is less responsive teaching for students. And to be clear, this is not about adult convenience. It is about instructional quality for students. The district and union actually share the same goal. We're doing what is best for students. Where we sometimes differ is not in the goal, but in the execution and in the how. We believe students are best served when effective teachers are trusted to practice their craft with minimal intrusion and when intervention is targeted and warranted, not automatic. St. Lucie County wants to retain experienced educators and attract new ones. Trust matters, autonomy matters, respect matters, and perception matters. That does not mean abandoning consistency or accountability. It means recognizing that effective teachers are professionals and that their expertise, flexibility, and judgment are assets that strengthen student learning, not liabilities to be managed. In my interview, I did not criticize the district, and that remains true. But as an advocate for educators in St. Lucie, I also have a responsibility to speak honestly about the conditions that push people out of the profession. Teachers do not leave because the work is hard. The work's always been hard. They leave when they feel controlled rather than respected. Look, we can't fix the state here tonight. In fact, I'm not sure how the state is going to get fixed. But we can make St. Lucie a district where educators want to come, stay, and build long, meaningful careers. A district that turns a statewide challenge into a local advantage. State policy caused this crisis. Local culture will determine how we respond to it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Freeland. CWA report? Seeing this time no one's here, we're going to move on. Schools Youth Advisory Council. Thank you for being here tonight.
Of course. Thank you for having me. Good evening, members of the school board. I am Karina Rocho, the Youth Advisory Council chairperson. And I just want to say, Happy New Year to everyone. I hope this year brings new opportunities, growth, and success for our schools and community. As we look ahead to our next meeting in January at Treasure Coast High School, I want to take a moment to reflect on the important discussions and initiatives from our December meeting, which took place at Central on December 15th. Firstly, I would like to extend my appreciation to Mr. Troy Church, our guest speaker for the month. His insights into safety within our schools and district were both informative and thought-provoking. I found his perspectives on the aspects into what goes on behind the scenes particularly valuable, especially as we consider how to enhance our safety protocols and community engagement strategies. Having experts like Mr. Church shares their knowledge helps us stay informed and better equipped to make impactful decisions. Regarding the school's reports, I was pleased to see the variety of approaches our schools have been taking towards safety and security. It's clear that each school is tailoring their strategies to fit their unique environments, whether through implementing ID systems, installing new cameras, or managing traffic flow more effectively. From my own observations, I believe that the emphasis on balancing safety with practicality is the right approach, especially as we consider phased upgrades like ballistic protection and our new ordinances concerning electric bikes and safety regulations. One point that stood out to me is the importance of communication. Clear, consistent staff updates to students, parents, and staff is essential as we roll out these initiatives. I also think that moving forward, we should incorporate more feedback from the schools themselves to ensure our measures are both effective and sustainable. Overall, I'm encouraged by the proactive steps being taken and remain confident that the continued support and collaboration will create a safer, more secure learning environment for everyone. Thank you for your time, and I look forward to our next YAC meeting at Treasure Coast High School in January. Thank you for your time. Do you guys have any questions?
Never had that one come up. That's pretty in-depth.
I want to major in marketing, so I'm always looking for questions on how to make
You're
things
doing a
better.
great
So
job. You're doing a great job.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for your leadership. Thank you, Ms. Rocho. Alrighty, board members, we're moving to consent agenda 7.1. Can I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
I move to adopt the consent agenda as presented.
Got a motion and a second. Discussion? Seeing none, those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries 5-0. Mr. Superintendent, can you give us your recommendation, please?
I recommend the board approve the consent agenda as submitted.
Board members, you heard the recommendation of the superintendent. Could I get a motion?
So moved.
I got a motion and a second. Is there anyone that needs to pull for discussion? Seeing none, those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries 5-0. Moving on to our superintendent's report.
All right, good evening. It's a pretty uneventful meeting tonight, but there was something two things happened that were very eventful today. Number one, we had the ribbon cutting for the brand new Fort Pierce Westwood Academy earlier in the day. So I want to thank our board members for being there, but not just that, for having a real vision of what the future looks like. And I said this earlier in my remarks. I know you were not at the ribbon cutting, but I said opportunity should not be defined by where you live or your zip code. Opportunity should be colorblind, and it should be, regardless of where you go to school in St. Lucie County Public Schools, opportunity should be everywhere. And I'd like to say that opportunity is everywhere. And Fort Pierce Westwood is a perfect example of having vision, the vision that our board members have, to the commitment to educating all of our children, regardless of where they live. Just 6 months earlier, we opened Legacy High School, which is located in a new area in Tradition. And then 6 months after that, we're opening in one of our oldest campuses, Fort Pierce Westwood, a true commitment. And we're keeping that commitment. And we're actually expanding that commitment to other areas in Fort Pierce, where we plan to break ground this summer on a new K-8, which is going to combine 3 of our schools, Lawnwood, Dan McCarty, and St. Lucie Elementary. And it's not really about, every school has a footprint, but your real legacy is how you care for your communities and the commitment that you have for your communities, that you want to make sure that all those kids that are being fed into that brand new facility on Engle Road are getting a very similar experience to the new communities that they're building in the south and to the west. And for that, I commend the board, I commend your leadership and vision and expectation to drive our district and use me as your instrument to make sure that those things happen. So thank you if you were there. But the other big thing that happened today was our graduation rate dropped. I'd like to say that the graduation in St. Lucie County broke a record today. It's never been higher. Did I say something?
Yeah, you said it dropped today.
Oh no, I said it came out. It came out like it
Drop
dropped on.
microphone.
It dropped online. Dropped online. It's a figure of speech. It did not drop. It rose again to its highest that it has ever been in the history of St. Lucie County Public Schools. With a graduation rate of 95%. And that is a real, we've got some of our high school principals here today. I see Mr. Gardner from Fort Pierce Central and Mr. Lehman from Treasure Coast High School. And if I also want to say that it takes a village, because those kids that are matriculating through those elementary, middle, and K-8s are coming to you more prepared than they've ever been. But what great opportunities that we're providing in our high schools for young adults to become leaders in our community. And I mentioned today the individual that had a big hand in building Legacy and Fort Pierce Westwood Academy is Brandon Noble, president of Remnant, who is a product of St. Lucie County and is the president of his company and built that school. And it's all about keeping local, local. So I couldn't be more prouder of the school district, our school board, all of our employees that make that happen, because it really exemplified today as to what makes us great. I wanted to acknowledge, I'll get into the details of individual schools' graduation rates, but I like to round things. Okay, decimal, if it's 99.7, to me that's 100%. All right, right? Yes, we round, right? You're about to do your taxes, right? We always round it. We round. Exactly. So we've got Lincoln Park Academy, 100% graduation rate. Mosaic Digital Academy, 100% graduation rate. Port St. Lucie High School, 100% graduation rate. Treasure Coast High School, 100% graduation rate. And I'd also like to add, the state recognized graduation rate for students that graduate in 4 years. That means they pass a reading exam, they pass a math exam, they've got 24 credits and a 2.0 GPA. Tomorrow, we're having a record number of students graduate in the winter. And some of those students are early grads, but many of them are fifth-year seniors. And I can tell you right now, St. Lucie County Public Schools, because you don't graduate in 4 years, we don't give up on you. We're going to continue to hound you until you graduate, because the difference between that high school diploma and not having a high school diploma is so significant, because if you don't have that high school diploma, you will have doors shut in your face. And if you've got it, doors will open for you. So I want to just say this, it just makes me very happy to mention those things. Teacher of the Year, Prize Patrol will go around tomorrow. It's a secret, but we will be showing up at some doors tomorrow to announce some of our finalists. And also I wanted to mention this a little bit, but there's a handball competition. It's called the Commander-in-Chief's Trophy Collegiate Handball Match between the U.S. Air Force Academy and the United States Military Academy. The reason that's important is because handball is an Olympic sport, and we're about to promote this heavily, but our national Olympic team will be training at the old Fort Pierce Westwood High School gym, which we're converting so that they can train, and we're going to have real Olympians in the next few years training for the Olympics, and that's very, very exciting, and we're working in conjunction with Indian River State College to partner with them to promote that. So that's a great feather in our cap. And lastly, I just wanted to mention too, this is kind of a very important month recognizing the history and the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King. I'm very excited to have a presentation at a breakfast on Saturday. We've had a number of events this week. Monday is a holiday, but I think St. Lucie County Public Schools exemplifies everything that Dr. King was about, and that's about equality and opportunity for all. And that concludes my remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Superintendent. Attorney's report? Seeing no report. School board members, we have a vote on 20.1, St. Lucie County Education Foundation Board of Directors. As a recommendation, can I have a motion?
So move to approve.
Hold on a second. Do I have to have a recommendation from you? No? Okay. So I have a motion to approve from Dr. Mills. Do I have a second?
Second.
From second. Any discussion? Seeing none, those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. We're going to start off with board members' report. And Dr. Mills, can we start off with you today?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. Oh, I thought I was here by myself. Westwood, I want to start out with that, the ceremony and the cutting of the ribbon. I am absolutely floored at the work that has been done to put that building up at Westwood. It is a state-of-the-art. It is a incredible building, and it was long in the waiting. And so our students are excited, our administration is excited there, our staff. We're excited about what is going on here in St. Lucie County Public Schools. I am so glad that I am here at this time and that I have seen what I have seen within the last 15, 16 years of serving as a school board member. It has been tremendous growth. As the superintendent said, we now have accomplished for the first time in the history of St. Lucie County Public Schools a graduation rate the way that we've done, and it's just been incredible work. And it just shows that it's all possible. It's all possible. All children are capable of success, no exceptions. I was looking at some of the graduation places, and our ESE students, I believe, graduated out of 67 districts. They graduated, I believe, 6, if I'm remembering correctly, 6 in the state of Florida here. I am just, all of our groups, gaps have been closed. I have seen us go from huge gaps among different groups to all gaps being closed. I'm telling you, I can, look, I'm a Holy Ghost-filled person here. I could shout across this room at what I have seen and the accomplishments. Thank you, principals. Thank you for your tremendous work. Thank you, administration, for your tremendous work. Thank you, superintendent. Thank you for each and every one that understands now that all children are capable of success, no exceptions. They may have to do it in different ways, and we have to work with them in different ways, but they are all capable. And we see that, we know that, and we're all working toward that and making it happen. So nothing's impossible. All things are possible to them that believe. That's scripture, in case you don't know. All things are possible to them that believe. And we now believe that. And so we're seeing this tremendous growth within St. Lucie County Public Schools. Thank you to our teachers. Absolutely love our teachers. I absolutely love our union reps. You guys have done your part. We've worked together. Thank you to our community. We have an after-school program, and there are many after-school programs out there that are also contributing to the success of our children. And all together, we're making the difference. I did want to mention the Martin Luther King Parade. I don't know if the superintendent mentioned that, but it is not, January the 19th, 2026. Thank you for everyone that have made this possible for us to be the people that we are today. Martin Luther King and those civil rights leaders that marched and went through what they went through, Rosa Parks and Harriet Tubman, which is my hero, and the Underground Railroad, and all those folks that gave their lives so that we can have a better America. I want to say to our ancestors, thank you for what you did and how you gave your life so that we can have what we have as a country today. And so please come out to that parade. It will be on the 19th of January, next Monday, at 10 a.m., looks like I'm seeing here, as well as all the other different MLK activities. Appreciate each and every one of you. I truly do. Thank you for your work and your ethics.
Ms. Holly? Ms. Aronson?
I will try to keep it short, but I just, I finished my first year as a school board member, and I didn't want to let that go by without saying just how incredibly grateful I am for this experience. First of all, the band was great today, right? Like, I would miss that had I not been on the school board. Van Morrison is very progressive. I enjoyed it very much. Please let him know that. And the principal, Mr. Ingersoll. But also, Dr. Donna Mills mentioned our union, our association, and David Freeland is one of the most honest and informed leaders that you can work with, and that is so much appreciated. Because I don't think every school district has that, and I don't think it goes unnoticed, but he understands, he knows what's going on, and it makes it easier for us as school board members. So a huge thank you to David. We appreciate that. And I always want to mention Nikki, and she talked about Troy being out to speak to her class, and I'm scheduled to go out there in the coming months, and I can't wait for that. That's one of the highlights of this job, is being able to be out there when you can, for a reason, to intermingle with the students. It's so nice. But how fortunate have I been that we are now an A-rated school? And I mean, I just got here. I don't think I had a lot to do with it. But I'm so fortunate that we had an A-rated school and that we opened 2 beautiful schools. It just so much I'm so appreciative of all of it and the opportunity to learn more. There is a lot to learn, though. I will fully admit that. And a lot of responsibility to our community, but I'm thankful for all of it. So I just wanted to mention that in my year anniversary. Also, that Young Floridian, I mention it every year, it's coming up. We also highlight typically a public school senior athlete on one of the shows that I do, covering the bases with the Mets. And we are now going to work with a local TV station to get some dual PR for them, and we're going to add in academics this year. So I'm excited about that. Because anytime we can highlight our students on our show, our local show, and local TV, you know, it's going to be our CBS affiliate. I'm excited to do that because I think more and more people will see how great our schools is. So that was my year in recap. I'm just incredibly grateful and thankful to everybody. That's it.
Thank you. Mrs. Richardson?
So very much. I just wanted to say welcome to everybody and happy 20.
Mrs. Richardson, can you move your microphone down a little bit, please?
Oh, sorry. Welcome and happy 2026. I'm still trying to catch up with 2026. I'm right in 2025 still, but it is 2026. I'm going to just dive in because I have much to share today, so relax and enjoy. My focus this year draws inspiration from Lyndon B. Johnson, who said, "Education is the genius of our democracy." However, then came John Prince's twist on this. He says, "Public education is the genius of our democracy." That second version has resonated with me. Here's the thing. The word education alone sounds exclusive or selective, but public education captures something bigger. It's a promise that every child receives an opportunity. Every child finds a welcome, and every child gets taught. No exceptions. Which brings me to what I'm most excited to share, the extraordinary educators that I've met on this journey. Last month, I visited some schools and was joined by the superintendent and the chief of schools. What I experienced was nothing short of eye-opening. I got a glimpse for just a few minutes of what our teachers do every single day. Our first stop was Treasure Coast High School, where I met Mrs. Chopper. Mrs. Chopper is a very interesting teacher. I just think she's amazing. And she is a CTE International Business teacher. We visited Mrs. Barbara Reddick's class, and she teaches CTE Health Science. And of course, last but not least, the incredible JROTC instructors. Chief Master Sergeant, retired Jeffrey Barnes, Master Sergeant retired Christopher Florida, and Colonel James Golden. First and foremost, I would like to thank these gentlemen for their service. I've always admired our JROTC program, but seeing it in action is something else. The cadets impressed me beyond words. And here's the thing, they can only be as excellent as the leaders who equip them and trust them to lead. Watching the level of maturity and discipline in our young people, I left there with hope, H-O-P-E, for the future. And you know, these days, we need hope. I need hope. In addition to the classroom visits, I had the pleasure of attending the Treasure Coast Christmas Band program. It was absolutely wonderful. Every school performance that I've attended continues to impress me with its professional quality. In my opinion, it is truly on par with what you'd experience at the Kravitz Center. Special recognition and my gold star goes to Mr. Bobby Ingram for directing such an outstanding performance. I'm just saying, I loved the jazz band. A quick shout out to Nalani Jackson at Treasure Coast High School. I am proud of you, honey, and the sky's the limit. Our next stop was Palm Point, where we dropped in on Mrs. Angelina Allen's first grade class. She thanked us for popping by sending us home or off with bags of popcorn. She is truly an amazing teacher. Then we headed to Northport to visit Mrs. Frazier, who taught VPK for about 29 years, and only VPK. Parents, that's what I call devotion. That's love for your children and a passion for teaching. We moved on to Miss Sharetta Ward's first grade classroom. Her high energy doesn't even begin to, or the word high energy doesn't even begin to describe her. She embodies commitment and persistence, a rock star in the making. I am naming names intentionally because I want our parents, our community, newcomers, and anyone considering moving here to understand what we have, a destination district. I want you to know exactly who is shaping your children's education. I want you to witness their passion for teaching, mentoring, and serving your children, our children. Do we have hiccups, curveballs, along with systemic challenging? Absolutely. And let's be honest, Lord knows that these educators are not in this for a paycheck. They're not in this for the money. They are our frontline heroes. They genuinely care about our children. Now let's be real. Do they love your kids every single second of every single day? Probably not. And that's perfectly okay. I tell my own children there is nothing that they could ever do to make me stop loving them. I will always love them. But there are some moments when I don't like what they're doing. I don't like what they're saying. Our educators feel the same way about their students, and that's part of what makes them human and effective. I'm going to shift gears a little bit, and I'm going to go to today. Today marked a milestone for our district, the ribbon cutting of the new Westwood High School building. It was a day filled with excitement and meaning as we witnessed a promise made and a promise kept, and was sealed with a rainbow connecting the old school with the new school. Thank you to everyone who joined us for the ceremony. I made it a point to be there on the first day of school to greet the students as they arrived on the buses. I wanted to see the looks on their faces, and I was not disappointed. The excitement was real, and the energy continues to fill the halls. This new sense of pride among our students and staff will be instrumental in driving excellence and growth forward. What I'm looking forward to most is witnessing the revitalization that happens within. A transformation of minds and possibilities. After all, we are transformed by the renewing of our minds. Before I close, or as I close, I want to circle back to Treasure Coast High. They gave me parting gifts, and I promised that I would wear them proudly at this meeting. So here we go. I raise my water bottle in appreciation. Titan born, Titan bred. This ends my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Richardson.
Chair Ingersoll, I'm sorry, I forgot one. I promised to make an announcement about an event coming up. The Caribbean American Culture Group does a lovely luncheon every Martin Luther King Day. I couldn't be there with them this year. It's the first time in a long time, and so I said I'd mention it here. I've got to be in Tallahassee. I have meetings scheduled all day on the 19th, actually. But if you've never been to the Caribbean American Culture Group's luncheon, it's Monday the 19th at the Sunlight Community Church, okay? It's at 11:30. It's a huge celebration with lunch included, so I just wanted to make sure everybody knew about that. I promised I'd mention it, sorry.
Is there a fee?
There is a fee, you can register online. I think that we've been invited though, actually, so yeah. Yeah, they invited us.
Yes, they have been. All righty, I'm just going to go ahead and conclude my report. Graduation rate, congratulations. Mr. Superintendent, you said they take tests and there's certain requirements to graduate. Just for the community to know, these tests are just not tests that we made up. These are state tests graded by the state. So it's like a driver's license. You don't pass the state test, you don't pass. So it's not something that we can fudge. It's state-driven. So there's accountability there. So when people wonder, like, oh, you just make this stuff up. No, we don't make this stuff up. So I do want to thank the teachers, principals, everybody involved, and especially David Freeman, the union. What a great gift it is when the union and the district can work together. Ms. Holly, I want to thank you for filling in for me today. I couldn't be there at all my meetings, so you've done quite it was a busy day for you, so I want to thank you for that. The wedding singer's coming up at Port St. Lucie High School. They sold 6,100 tickets. If you still want to get tickets, I know you can go to Joy's or Perkins, but they're coming to quickly being sold out. Lastly, Martin Luther King Day is on Monday. The parade, just remember, it's going to be chilly, cold. So please dress appropriately. We're going to move into scheduled speakers. We have 2 scheduled speakers. Ms. Christy Thanos, would you please come forward? She's our first scheduled speaker, and then Mr. Rick Reed, and then we do have one unscheduled speaker after that. Ms. Thanos, you know we do have 5-minute limit, and our attorney will keep track for us.
Good evening, Chair, board members, superintendent, educators, families, and members of St. Lucie County. As we begin 2026, I want to say this clearly. St. Lucie County School Board must stay strong and unified, and our community recognizes and values your leadership. Please keep your focus on students, not political theater. The pressure coming from Tallahassee and Washington is intensifying, and this is not the time to step back, it is the time to stand firm. In Tallahassee, we have seen policies pushed into local classrooms not to improve education, but to control it. Florida classroom censorship law is a prime example. and honeyfund.com versus DeSantis, a federal court blocked major portions of that law, ruling that the state cannot restrict speech simply because it dislikes certain ideas. The court made clear that government cannot dictate which viewpoints are permitted in education or training. That ruling matters here. It confirms what educators already know. Teaching honest history and real-world issues is not indoctrination, it is education. Courts across Florida and the nation have also warned that book removals and curriculum censorship driven by ideology raises serious First Amendment concerns. Public schools cannot be turned into tools for viewpoint discrimination. At the same time, Florida budget priorities speak loudly. Recent state budgets have committed over $4 billion annually to universal voucher programs, education savings accounts, and sending public dollars to private religious schools with limited accountability and no obligation to serve every child. Meanwhile, public schools are left behind. In St. Lucie County, per-student funding is roughly in line with Florida average, about $9,000 per student. I looked that up, so I'm not sure if I've got the right number. While the national average is closer to $13,000 per student. That gap represents fewer teachers, fewer counselors, fewer support staff, and fewer opportunities for our students. Public schools need more funding, not less. At the federal level, the shortfall continues. Congress promised to fund 40% of special education costs under IDEA, but has never come close to meeting that commitment. Districts like St. Lucie are forced to cover the gap locally while still meeting every legal requirement to serve students with disabilities. That is an unfunded mandate, and it strains classrooms in every day. These decisions are made far from St. Lucie, but their consequences land squarely on our teachers and our students. That is why this board voice matters. We need you to push back when Tallahassee budget choices undermine public education, to demand increased, stable funding for public schools, not one-time fixes and not money siphoned away from classrooms, and to defend local control, professional educators, and students' rights. But this cannot fall on the board alone. Parents, we must speak up. Residents, we must call legislators and demand that public schools be fully funded first. Business, civic, and faith leaders must stand publicly with the schools that educate our workforce. And voters must remember who stood up and who stayed silent. Because when we look the other way, teachers leave, class sizes grow, services disappear, and public schools weaken. St. Lucie County cannot afford that future. Strong public schools build strong communities, and St. Lucie County is ready to lead. To this board, keep standing up. We are with you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Thanos. Mr. Rick Reed? You'll have 5 minutes, kept by our attorney.
Good evening. I was born and raised here in St. Lucie County, and I went to public school in the first grade at Lawnwood Elementary. The rest was in private school. I've proudly served as vice president of the St. Lucie County NAACP, and I couldn't remain silent about something I watched at a recent board meeting. I was profoundly disappointed by what I witnessed at that meeting. This concerned the annual rotation of the chairman and vice chairman. I spoke to all 5 of you individually and expressed my concern about this issue. The voters elected each of you, and there's not a pecking order. Y'all are equal in this office you hold. It was anticipated by the voters that elected you, based on your campaign promises, that you would bring your unique skill set to collectively manage and operate our school district. And you are called to lead by example. Dr. Mills was very articulate about what she experienced with the same issue, and if memory serves me, she was finally included in the rotation after being on the board and repeatedly skipped for several years. Ms. Richardson was elected and was reelected overwhelmingly by the St. Lucie County voters. This is her 6th year. She has been deliberately skipped in the leadership rotation. Perception becomes reality. I believe the statements made by board members Ingersoll and Aronson concerning board member Richardson were demeaning and dysfunctional to this institution, the superintendent, the staff, as well as teachers, employees, and to y'all, each one of y'all. Further, it was not a good example for our students, and it was surely not leading by example. Also, silence board member Hawley can be viewed as being complicit in the action. Diversity is an asset and a building block to a better St. Lucie County. We have too much division in the world today, and you five have the ability to change that here. Again, perception becomes reality. Please lead by example. Our students' future depends on it. I was pleased today to attend the ribbon-cutting ceremony of Fort Pierce Westwood Academy. I was told the cost was over $100 million for the completed facility. With proper leadership, guidance, and direction from this board, great things can come from that school as well as all the other schools in St. Lucie County. Dr. Prince, your words earlier today at the ribbon-cutting ceremony and also here concerning all children being equal regardless of their address, their ethnicity, or their economic situation must be the rule and never the exception. Thank you for including those remarks today. Rotation of this board should be automatic, like the other boards in the city and county commissions throughout St. Lucie County. Again, the citizens elected you to serve equally, not a few above the rest. Even the city of Fort Pierce gets that right, and they don't get much right, ever. As you know or should know, you never go wrong by doing right. Lastly, build a team so strong that no one can point out the leader. And we will all be winners, starting with each one of you and this board collectively. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. At this time, we're going to adjourn for a few seconds and then call up our unscheduled speaker. And this time, this meeting is truly adjourned.